isn't real. This was made in Blender.
Alright guys, so welcome to our first breakdown. So that scene that you saw a while ago, we're going to break it down. So what are we looking at? So this is going to be a different type of tutorial series. I'm not necessarily going to be doing everything here because I already have a pre-built scene that you just saw in our intro. So pretty much what I'm going to be doing is showing you pretty much breaking down how this scene was actually created. So I'm going to be taking you from the modeling in Blender, the texturing. I'm going to show you what I use to texture the scene, and then I'll show you what I did in terms of After Effects. After Effects. I think I did Premiere Pro because it can be done in After Effects, but my After Effects was giving me some issues, so I used Premiere Pro. So what you're looking at in front of you is a cube that has been modified. So pretty much I modified a cube. I started off from a cube. I modified the cube to make it to be our main house, or basically our lab. So pretty much that is what it is. So all I did was extrude the cube, cut one of the faces off so that we could put our camera through, that we could see what it is. And then at the back, I extended the back so it would have some length and curve, so you'd see that you're looking up a ramp inside our lab. So that's it. So pretty much that's what you can start off with. Start off with your cube, and you can just go into edit mode and extrude after you subdivide. So I did subdivide this into, I don't even know how much faces because I just did it on the fly. And our sun is here, and we just kept it off. Alright, so I call that our chamber. Well, no, that is just our cube. I didn't call it any name. So the next main thing was the creation of our chamber. So this was our chamber, and how did we do it? We actually use top and bottom a sphere. So we use our sphere. Can't pronounce that thing in Jamaican. And we created one. And we made the middle or the inside of it invisible. So let's just turn on the thing. We made it glass. If I remember correctly, I made it glass, and then I deleted the middle because I didn't like how it looked. And we created another sphere, whatever you call that thing, that circular triangle, cylinder. You know, it was a cylinder. Yes, I'm giving incorrect information. It was a cylinder. So we used a cylinder first, then we modified that cylinder in edit mode to create an extrude here and extrude at the top. And then the middle, which is our storage chamber, if you look over here, I call it our chamber storage. That's another cylinder that all I did was to turn it into glass. So there'll be tutorials coming up on how to turn something into glass, but there's a lot of tutorials online about how to turn it into glass. So there's a cylinder here that was extruded, and you know, just sized it, and then there's the next cylinder. So let me turn that on. So this is our cylinder, and then we just simply rotated it to have a curve. So this is going to be where we put our alien. Okay. All right. So after putting in that, so let's just see how it looks. So we go over into this view. Okay. All right. This is after it's been textured. So this was given a glass texture. So if you go over here, you'll see that it was given a glass material. And this now, where our actual cube, which is our entire housing, we textured it with a white tile from Texture Haven. So you can see it here, just downloaded it and just textured it. And this picture, which would be our monitor image, I just got it from a download online. So let's get back to our scene. So okay, so let's turn that off and let's go back to wireframe. Alright, so that's how we created our chamber storage. Alright, So in terms of our alien that is trapped in the middle, what we did was just to position him there. I call him Germ Shaw. So, or Germ Shaw. And how did I get this? Did I sculpt this? I really suck at sculpting, so I did not sculpt this thing. What I did was download a base mesh from, I think it was, I don't remember what the site is, but I'm going to put the name of the site in the description. As soon as I finish this video, I'm going to put that. And we put him in our see-through portion of our cylinder. So when you shine it, the light does shine through and you will be able to see him. And we gave him a little odd color. I don't remember if it was purple or whatever. So pretty much that's where that came from. Alright, so now can't have a cylinder with a canister with an alien being captured or stored without there being any form of cable. So to add to the realism, what we did was to create an entire collection with cables. So we have Bezier circles. So there's one here. Let me just turn them on for you so you can see them. And we started to wrap them around, have some cables hanging from out of the roof, over the side, and not to forget this main cable here going to our cylinder. So you can just use your Bezier circle and just draw in edit mode and just manipulate them so till they look like cables. And in terms of the materials we use, we just use plain black on the material. So therefore, when we use plain black on the material, it worked. So yeah. Okay, so we're going into the next situation where we have our lights collection, because it makes no sense if you are going to have a lab and there is no light collection. So we created a nice array of lights. So we had a bulb set. So let me show you my bulb set. Alright, so the bulb sets here. And to create these, what I did was to create, just to use a cube and just put the cubes up there, and inside the cubes we actually put actual other cubes. So it's cube within a cube within a cube. And then what we did, the trick is when we are texturing or giving a material, the bulb lights, I just made those, give it an emission, made them emit light. So therefore they'll become actual bulbs. So pretty much that's it for the light. Now the light bar, and what's the light bar? Let me turn this on so you can see it. The light bar would be these cubes that have been manipulated to fit on the wall, and inside of them there was a cube that was also given a material to emit light. So therefore it would become light bars on the wall. So it was created out of that. Alright, so how can we have a lab and there's no monitors? So now I have a next collection, which is monitors, and these were made out of, you guessed it, cubes again. So pretty much a cube being placed on a flattened cube, which is on another cube. Yeah, it's all made out of cubes. So pretty much there was there has to be something on the monitor. So what we did was to download some image of some skeleton guy, just something I found randomly on Google, and then put it in the material and texture the face, unwrapped it, UV edit it and unwrap the face of the monitor and put that image on it. So pretty much that's how we got the display for the monitor. Alright, so I wanted to create another monitor as well, but that one worked for me. So I was like, if it works, then why bother put on this one? And plus, and in addition, I was kind of lazy, so I didn't want to do it anymore. Alright, so what we have here again, this is a collection that's not named, is Writing, which is the name of the lab, which is Tech Solutions Lab, with our company. That was placed, is 3D writing that was placed on the lab wall. And how we got that done was simply just went and created text in your object. You just Shift A and you just add your text and just position it on the wall. Pretty simple right there. And we added some more cables, like this cable that came out of the wall. This was supposed to really go into this cylinder, which is this canister that has our hoses or alien. But guess what? Yeah, I got lazy and I couldn't connect it. So pretty much that's it. Now let's get to the Sidelight. The Sidelight is something that I needed, which would be this box here that gives the whole setup a unique but more realistic look, because it gives that warning red light that you see in our footage. So let me see if I can show you my rendered footage. Alright, so you won't see the Sidelight. This was my first render of it, but pretty much that's what you see in the video. When the lights are on, the side lights are on both sides here. So that's how you get those. Alright, so with all of this set up and textured, as I said, I won't get into the major textures that I use and how I UV unwrap it all and all that kind of thing. I'm just running you through and giving you a breakdown of what the scene is, how it was created in Blender. I'm not trying to get you to create the same exact scene. I'm just giving you ideas of what you can do in Blender to create your own scene. So therefore, it will stimulate you in terms of creating your own scene. Alright, so when it comes to rendering, what did I do? I rendered first with Eevee, which didn't look so well. Eevee gave a sort of cartoonish look. It wasn't photorealistic at all, which I had to go to Cycles. So when I rendered with Cycles, that's when we had our ray tracing of our light, and our light starting to look wonderful and starting to look real enough. And I would recommend, guys, if you're actually rendering to use in video, what I've found personally, and when I say video in terms of being part of your footage, your live action footage, you want to render with Cycles, not Eevee. Eevee just doesn't work for what you want unless you're trying to do something like a game or an animation, something that is not supposed to be photorealistic. But for what we're doing and what we're trying to accomplish, I saw that Cycles was the best thing to use. Alright, so that will end this portion in terms of Blender, because all that takes is for us to render. This is what Eevee does when everything is put together. I won't even try to attempt to change my render into Cycles, because I'm currently screen capturing this video for you, and I have a shitty computer, so I will not be trying that at all. So we're going to jump into our next part of our video, where I show you how I composited my footage with the Blender rendered image to give a realistic, more I don't know what the word is, but give you a footage that looks more realistic using our Blender output. No special tricks at all. Alright, so let's jump into that. Alright, so pretty much, so we started up Premiere Pro here 2021, and what I did was the image that was rendered from Blender, which was used, which we rendered using Cycles, actually took it out, imported it into Premiere Pro, and this is our image pretty much with our alien and our strings and all that. Then what I did was to shoot some footage If you look down in this box, I have some nice embarrassing footage of myself here, like here, and this is my little setup with my green screen. So we just knew what area that we wanted um, to pretty much green screen and what we wanted to key out using Ultra Key. So with that in mind, what I did was, let's get to the actual footage here, was, let me bring that footage up. Let me turn this up. All right, this is our footage. I had myself here, and what I did was to simply just green screen out what we didn't want, or pretty much the green out of it. And pretty much standard video editing, because this scene is white, we had to do some color grading on it to bring up the white so that the light that is here will match the light here, and the shadows that were in the scene match our scene. So although this wouldn't be a 3D scene because there was actually no depth of field, we tried to create a depth of field based on the angle of the camera that we have here. So that is pretty much how we got that act going. So pretty much what I'd recommend when you do a scene like this is to look at your primary colors or your more dominant colors, or where your light is, or your light source. In this situation, our light source, which we created in Blender, is shining from the top, which is coming from these lights. So what I did was to recreate that light. Let me show you here. Over here you can see I recreated that same light shining down, so that would match this. And now we color graded each. So what I'd recommend is when you export your Blender scene, you do it in log format so that you can color grade. And there are many videos out there in terms of color grading your scene. Color grading is necessary for both your footage that you've shot, your raw footage, and your Blender environment that you're created to match. And pretty much I know a lot of persons will say, why didn't you just do all your compositing in Blender? And I'll tell you this much: I'm much better with Premiere Pro and After Effects than I am with Blender for video editing. Blender, to me, I believe, is a very useful tool that does everything. It's like your Swiss Army knife. However, the problem is I don't think it does it well in comparison to dedicated programs such as After Effects and Premiere Pro. So I'd go with Premiere Pro when it comes to doing my video editing and my effects using After Effects. So pretty much, guys, this has been my scene breakdown. Look out for maybe a little short clip coming up soon with the same scene with, you know, some more flavor to it and things. So if you like this video, this has not been your do this and then do this. This is more of a guide in terms of how to get your realistic scenes done in Blender and to get a workflow going. So if you appreciate this video, this has been the first of the videos that I intend to create. Just give it a like and just tell me what you like about it, and if it sucked, please tell me why it sucked, so therefore the next one won't suck this much. And don't tell me that I sound like I'm falling asleep. I'm trying to tell you the information as correctly as I can, so it gives me, so I have to think about what I'm saying to you instead of just blurting away information. Alright guys, thank you for watching.